Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, let me give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. Peace and salutation to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth and faith and its sincerity. I'm the Bro Shema from the GMS Houston camp, and this lesson is going to be entitled, or basically centered around, you got to want this for yourself. See, because this is your salvation that's on the line. See, you got to want to make it out of here on your own. See, because we are all in this, for ourselves. See, even though that, we love the brothers and we support brothers. You see, that's commanded of us, of the scriptures. It was commanded of Yahweh Shai. See, he says that that's how the world will know that we are his disciples. Yeah, we have that support system, but we can't nobody hold your hand right through the whole process, because we got our own trials and tribulations and things that the Most High is putting us through to build our faith. You see, and we can't be on our trial. You see, and they come and try to, pull you through yours, every time, or, just to try to make you understand and do this and study, and you gotta constantly. You can't do that, right? Because it's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna be realized that you just not fit. You see, or you just not into it. It's just not meant for you. You see, you got to know that, if you don't do this, then you're going to die. That should be enough fear in itself to get you going. But everybody not going to be like that. Right? Everybody ain't going to be like that. If you have a family, it's no one knows, right? But it's a possibility that they can be saved if you do what the Lord tell you to do. You see? Just like Paul told him, man, was it Peter? When the angel came to him and told him that his whole house will be saved, something along those lines. Let me see. But right, you might as well take that chance with the Lord instead of having no protection at all. You see, because there's some terrible things that are gonna happen to these people, and you want to be on the Lord's good side. You want to be, you want the Lord to have mercy upon you in that time. Right, but he ain't gonna have mercy on nobody that ain't been taking this thing seriously. But this is Philippians 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Right, work out your own salvation. Do the things that you need to do in this life, right, to make it on the chariot, to make it to the kingdom. It says, not in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Right, what you doing when people are not looking at you, when we can't see you? See, when nobody can see you, when you just operating in the world, do these scriptures still be in your mind? Do you still be obedient unto the Lord? See, are you still an Israelite? Which you can never change being an Israelite because it's our nationality. But in the mind and the spirit, do you still operate in that same energy? Are you still keeping the law to the best of your ability? And when no one can see you, as of being the ones who know that you're Israel, who know what you're about, right? When you ain't around them, you see, how do you act? Does your behavior show that you want to make it out of it. Show that you want salvation. Show that you are obedient to the Lord. And he said, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, because, man, it's like he said, we the hopeful elect, but you don't know. Can't just say you're going to make it. That's the fearful part. It says, well, we are prisoners of hope. We can't just say, oh, yeah, man, when the chariot comes, I know the Lord going to pick me up. Although we're supposed to speak good thoughts into our minds, we're supposed to speak positivity. But even with that positivity, even with that positive thinking, you still don't know. So that's why faith comes into play, and belief. And you got to keep that until the end, and then the Lord will reward that. Right? But it's fear and trembling, because the Lord can do anything to any one of us to make us bugged out the next day to where we don't even believe in this. The Lord can take any one of us out whenever he wants to, simply because he can do it. We in Babylon, the most wicked kingdom ever to exist, with a lot of things to get into, a lot of drugs, a lot of bugged out women, a lot of bugged out philosophies. You see, a lot of things that are out here. You got Esau doing his witchcraft, the sorceries. See, it's a lot of things that the Lord can give you over unto. So that's why you got to serve him with fear and trembling, and pray that he take not the Holy Spirit away from you. And to pray that he gives you the fear and the motivation and, all of these things that you need, spiritual things that you need to keep moving and keep going forward. See, unto the end. This is Romans 14:5. It says, one man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. So the last part of this verse speaks about a man being fully persuaded in his own mind. Because we can't force our enthusiasm, or our fear onto someone else. They got to see it. The Lord got to open their understanding for them to be able to see the seriousness of this, to see the seriousness of salvation and how bad we need it. They got to be able to want this for themselves, because if they don't want it, then there's nothing that you can tell a person. There's nothing, no matter how good you teaching, how perfect you breaking down the scriptures. You see, in their mind, it's just not for them. Right? Because it comes to a certain point in time to where nobody ain't gonna be able to hold your hand. And when it says 2 Ezra 7, that about the entrance, right, being dangerous, that one could fall, only one man could walk at a time. You see, and you gotta walk forth on that path on yourself. You see, like I said, you got a support system. You got brothers, that will lift you up in the time of need. But you still have to continue to move forward. We can't make you do that. Right? We can't make you pray. We can't make you fear. We can't make you study. We can't make you keep the laws to the best of ability when we ain't around you. All right? You got to do that on your own, for yourself, right? Building up your spiritual bank account. You see? What did I have? 2 Corinthians 5:11. It says, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciousness. So Knowing the terror of the Lord will persuade men. So knowing what the Lord can do unto us, hey, that's why we out there. That's why we doing what we doing. We read these scriptures and we go and we understand the judgment of the Lord and how he judges people, how he have judged people, how he calls him a king of terrors, how they call them Al-Shadia. You see, the Lord always wins. Anyone that come up against him, you see the wicked, right, in this life, they always get rewarded for their wickedness. See, the Lord always judges them and pays them back. There's no way getting around judgment whatsoever. No one will be able to escape judgment. Yahushua even said, fear not them which kill the body, but fear him which are able to kill your soul and body in hell. Which we are in hell, because hell is a condition played out on earth. You see, we are in hell, and the Lord can do some terrible things to you. Right? They had a show called 1,000 Ways to Die. Man, the Lord can do anything unto you, man. That's not even imaginable, that our brains can't even fathom. We don't want no parts of that. You see, just think about what they went through in ancient Egypt when the Lord was bringing plagues upon them, the 3 days of darkness, the spirits that the Lord was manifesting. You really tell me you want the Lord to do that to you? Hell no, you don't. I know I don't. That's why you got to be fully persuaded in your own mind. You gotta want not to go through that, right? You gotta want to avoid it for yourself. 1 Corinthians 9. And 27, it says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. All right. Well, I'll start at 24, 23. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. So Paul was teaching and preaching the word, right? How he was preaching and going hard just so he can be a partaker. You see, because nothing is promised to us. You see, that, you're going to make it for sure. That ain't promised. We don't know that. It says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. So we running to receive that prize, that crown, that the kingdom. This is what we running. And that running is talking about just being in this truth and enduring. And doing good works consistently unto the end. Even though we might fall here and there, but staying on that path and being consistent and being diligent, that's how you're going to obtain. Every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. Right? We don't want the praise of this world, right? What this world offers, the awards and all of those things, because this world is wicked. Right? What do NATO? What do they know? Salakia. You see, this is a bugged out place. We want the incorruptible, right? Incorruptible crown. We want those new bodies. We want to be kings, with the Yahushua, reign with the Yahushua. Oh Lord, what's better than that? What could top that? What could top reigning with the Yahushua? Right? What could top having everything that you have ever wanted in righteousness? And you will be able to enjoy that forever. You ain't got to worry about growing old and dying. What could top that? These things have to fully persuade you. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Right? We know why you got to know why you're in this. If you know why you're in this, then hey, you'll be fully persuaded. If you don't know, then hey, it's gonna show. It's gonna show. It's like people that's not serious. You shouldn't even waste your time. You should go enjoy the world, to its full extent, right? Because the Lord requires us to be hot or cold. No in between. Either you for him or against him. But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. Right? So you got to keep yourself under subjection, because in this living in this wicked world, and these wicked vibrations going about, it's a lot of things that you will get tempted with. It's a lot of things that will come into your mind that you will have to rebuke. You see, it's a lot of things, that you're just going to have to keep in check and reject. All right? I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but for the most part, you should be obedient unto the Lord. That should be your whole mindset of wanting to be obedient unto the Lord. And bringing your body into subjection, right? Meaning your members to do what's required of us to do, right? Rehearse the righteous acts to the best of our ability, to do what we preach. Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway, right? You don't want to be a castaway, right? You don't want to be a person that's going to be destroyed, but the Lord had to handle. All right, you was preaching all of these things, and you couldn't even hold up to what you were preaching. Right, then the Lord got to deal with you. This word castaway, Strong's G96, adikamos, not standing the test, not approved, right? You doing all these things, and at the end, right, you ain't taking it serious. You doing all these things, you preaching, right, doing your lessons or whatever, right? It says not approved. You ain't gonna be approved because you was in the middle, because you didn't know. It's just something to do for you. It says that was just not prove itself such as it ought. All right, so you got to be in this thing, giving your all, giving your best. Like the elder brother now count. Tazapah, he did a lesson on the woman that gave 2 mites. Give it your all, whatever you can, to the extent of your ability that the Lord has given you, do it. Hey, give that. Or in sincerity and in truth and in fear. See, another definition is unfit for. Right? You don't want to be unfit for the kingdom. And the ones that are unfit are the ones that take their hands from the plow as well. So we got to endure to the end. So that's the lesson. I hope brothers are edified with that. I'm going to say shalom.